Hey everyone, imagine this. It's the turn of the 20th century, and a lone inventor stands in a remote lab, surrounded by crackling bolts of man-made lightning that stretch over 100 feet into the night sky. What if that same genius had unlocked a way to send electricity soaring through the air, powering cities without a single wire? What if Nikola Tesla's wildest dream of wireless power for everyone hadn't faded into history? Wouldn't that be something? Today, we're diving deep into Tesla's lost invention that could have rewritten our modern world. From his wild experiments to the heartbreaking twists that stopped it cold. Stick around, because by the end, you will see why this is not just old news. It's a mystery that still sparks debate today. And if you're hooked on untold history like this, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more mind-blowing stories on my channel. Let's start at the beginning, because to understand Tesla's wireless electricity obsession, you have to know the man behind it. Picture a young Nikola Tesla, born in 1856 in a tiny village called Smiljan, smack in the middle of what's now Croatia. Back then, it was part of the Austrian Empire, a place where folklore and faith mixed with the harsh realities of rural life. His dad was a priest, strict and scholarly, always pushing books and big ideas. But it was his mom who really lit the spark. She was this incredible tinkerer, inventing household gadgets from scratch, like egg beaters and looms, all without any formal education. Tesla would later say she had this genius for mechanics that rubbed off on him. As a kid, he was sickly, often bedridden with fevers, but his mind, it was a whirlwind. He'd visualize entire machines in his head, down to the tiniest gear, and they worked perfectly in his imagination before he ever built them. By his late teens, Tesla was devouring physics and engineering at school in Graz, Austria. He was that student who aced everything, but he clashed with professors over things like the inefficiency of direct current motors. You see, back in the 1870s, electricity was still this wild frontier. Most folks lit their homes with gas lamps, and power systems were clunky, limited to short distances. Tesla dreamed bigger. He dropped out, wandered a bit, working odd jobs in Budapest and Paris, and by 1884, at age 28, he sailed to America with just 4 cents in his pocket and a letter of recommendation. "I know 2 great men," it read. "One is you, the other is this young man." That was from a colleague to Thomas Edison himself. Landing in New York, Tesla dove straight into the heart of the electrical revolution. He got a job at Edison's company, fixing generators and dynamos. Edison was pushing direct current, or DC, which flowed in one direction like a steady river. It worked okay for small setups, but it lost power over long distances. You'd need boosters every mile or so. Tesla, he was all about alternating current, AC, which flipped directions dozens of times a second. Why? Because you could crank up the voltage for transmission, send it miles without much loss, then step it down safely for homes. It was efficient, scalable, but Edison hated it. He saw AC as dangerous, unpredictable. This kicked off what's now called the War of the Currents, a brutal showdown between titans. Edison went dirty, staging public electrocutions of animals with AC to scare people, calling it the death current. Tesla, meanwhile, teamed up with George Westinghouse, a rival industrialist who believed in AC. Together, they bid on massive projects. The turning point, the 1893 World's Fair in Chicago. Westinghouse and Tesla underbid Edison, lighting up the entire fairgrounds with AC, over 200,000 bulbs, glowing like a fairy tale city. Visitors were mesmerized. It was like stepping into the future. Then came Niagara Falls. Tesla designed the first major hydroelectric plant there, harnessing the fall's roar to generate a sea power that zipped 20 miles to Buffalo without a hitch. It proved AC was the way forward. Edison's DC empire crumbled, and by the mid-1890s, AC became the global standard. Tesla was a hero, raking in royalties, but he waved millions to save Westinghouse from bankruptcy during a financial panic. Generous, maybe, or just laser-focused on bigger dreams. Now, with that victory under his belt, Tesla's mind raced ahead. What if electricity didn't need wires at all? What if you could beam it through the air like sunlight? This wasn't some pipe dream. It built on his AC work. In the early 1890s, back in his New York labs, he started tinkering with high-frequency currents. He invented the Tesla coil, a transformer that stepped up voltage to insane levels, creating sparks that danced like living things. Picture him on stage, at lectures, holding a bulb that lit up wirelessly in his hand, no cords attached. Audiences gasped. It was magic. But Tesla saw science. He was using resonance tuning circuits to vibrate at the same frequency, so energy jumped across gaps via electromagnetic fields. These demos weren't just show. They hinted at something revolutionary. Tesla believed the Earth itself could act as a giant conductor, pump energy into the ground at one spot, and it could ripple out, tappable anywhere with the right receiver. No more ugly power lines crisscrossing landscapes, no monopolies controlling the flow. Free energy for all, farmers in remote villages, ships at sea, even airplanes someday. It sounded utopian, but Tesla had proof from smaller tests. In 1898, he patented systems for wireless telegraphy, sending messages without wires. Guglielmo Marconi was doing similar radio work, but Tesla claimed priority, and history later sided with him in court. Still, wireless power, that was the holy grail. To test it big, Tesla needed space, altitude, and isolation. Enter Colorado Springs, 1899. Why there? The air was thin and dry at over 6,000 feet. Perfect for conductivity experiments, plus epic lightning storms to study. He arrived in May, funded by a hotel tycoon buddy, John Jacob Astor. Locals buzzed. Here was this tall, elegant Serbian with a mustache, setting up in a rickety barn on the prairie. He hired a carpenter to build a massive coil, 52 feet wide, topped with a 142-foot mast and a copper ball. Warning signs went up. Keep out, great danger. Tesla worked nights to avoid grid interference. And oh man, the sights and sounds. Imagine the scene. The roof rolls back, and Tesla fires up his magnifying transmitter, a supercharged Tesla coil, pumping millions of volts. Bolts erupt, 135 feet long, roaring like thunder. The air fills with ozone, that sharp post-storm smell. Sparks leap from metal objects nearby. Even horseshoes on passing wagons crackled. One night, he overloaded the local power plant's generator. It burned out, blacking out the whole town. Tesla apologized, fixed it himself, but the drama. He lit 200 bulbs wirelessly from 25 miles away, proving energy could travel through the ground. Butterflies swarmed the lab, drawn to the fields, swirling in blue coronas. A photographer named Dickinson Alley captured amazing double exposure shots of Tesla in a lightning storm and a dirt-stuck oscillator. lighting up lamps without wires. Tesla's notes from those months are gold, meticulous, obsessive. He observed standing waves in the earth, like ripples in a pond that don't fade. Lightning strikes revealed the planet's natural resonance, around 8 hertz. He even picked up strange signals on his receivers, beeps he thought might be from Mars. Wild, sure, but it fueled his vision, turned the Earth into a colossal brain, pulsing with energy and info. By January 1900, after 8 months, he packed up, convinced it worked, but debts piled up. The lab was auctioned off. Still, Colorado was his proof of concept. Back in New York, he wrote glowing articles, predicting a wireless world where power was as free as air. Emboldened, Tesla aimed for the stars, or at least across the Atlantic. He pitched investors on a world wireless system. Enter J.P. Morgan, the Wall Street titan, in 1901. Morgan ponied up $150,000. But here's the catch. He thought it was for wireless telegraphy to beat Marconi at sending messages. Tesla. He secretly planned power transmission to. They bought land in Shoreham, Long Island, 200 acres. Architect Stanford White, a pal, designed the Wardenclyffe Tower, 187 feet tall, a wooden frame topped with a 68-foot copper dome, like a mushroom from another world. Underground iron pipes plunged 120 feet, rooting into groundwater for conduction. Construction kicked off that summer. Workers dug tunnels, laid copper plates. By 1902, the lab hummed brick building with machine shops, even a railroad spur for gear. Tesla lived there, pacing, tweaking. The tower was no mere antenna. It was a global resonator. Pump low-frequency waves into the Earth and ionosphere, create standing waves anyone could tap with a tuned rod in the ground. Power plants worldwide could feed in, distributing endlessly. No meters, no bills, just humanity elevated. Could it really light up Europe, all the way from New York? But cracks appeared. Marconi beat him to the punch in December 1901, sending a signal from England to Canada. Investors flinched. Morgan, smelling no quick profits, refused more cash. "Where can I put the meter?" he reportedly asked, not grasping free energy's appeal. Tesla begged, wrote desperate letters. "It will change the world." No dice. By 1903, funds dried up, workers left. The tower stood silent, a monument to what-ifs. Tesla mortgaged it for hotel bills, suffered a breakdown in 1906, nerves shattered, alone in his Waldorf Astoria suite. Why did it fail? Money, mostly. Morgan pulled out, scared by the scale and lack of immediate returns, plus physics hurdles. While near-field wireless works like today's charging pads, far-field broadcasting loses efficiency over distance and safety. Zapping power through air could fry anything in between. Tesla overlooked that, or maybe overestimated. Rumors swirled, government sabotage, energy barons suppressing free power. No hard proof, but it adds intrigue. By 1917, the tower was dynamited for scrap to pay debts. Tesla, broke and eccentric, spent his later years in hotels, feeding pigeons, patenting wild ideas like death rays. He died alone in 1943, age 86. His papers seized by the FBI amid World War II spy fears. Yet, Wardenclyffe wasn't total loss. Tesla's patents laid groundwork for radio, radar, even Wi-Fi. Modern wireless charging echoes his coils. And get this, in 2013, the site became the Tesla Science Center, preserving his lab. Scientists today toy with resonant wireless power for EVs, drones. What if Morgan had believed? No power grids, no blackouts, utopia or chaos, with energy to free economies appended. So, wrapping up Tesla's wireless electricity was more than a gadget. It was a vision of boundless human potential, thwarted by greed and doubt. The mysteries linger. Were those Colorado signals extraterrestrial? Could we revive his system with today's tech? It teaches us innovation demands risk, and sometimes the boldest ideas wait for the world to catch up. What do you think? Genius ahead of his time, or dreamer doomed? Drop your theories in the comments below, and if this sparked your curiosity, subscribe for more hidden history gems, like the real story behind Edison's empire or forgotten inventors who shaped our gadgets. Hit like, share with a friend, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.